Welcome to the System to Success show. On this show, we'll cover the best growth advice from top CEOs in North America and beyond. On each episode, your host, Jay Crutchfield, he's a former software engineer turned entrepreneur, created and maintained online marketing, online sales, and fulfillment systems for global brands. He offers non-traditional wisdom about business systems mastery, while his guests share the story of how they built their companies. Jay and his guests talk entrepreneurship, digital marketing, strategy, and business principles. But they also talk about what it means to be human with all the ups and downs, advances, and setbacks. And what he does is he takes his information and strategies that has helped catapult global brands and brings that to the small business owner to give them that advantage. Make sure to subscribe and follow for more of these business system mastery principles.
This episode, we're going to talk about key performance indicators. Are you tracking or are you lacking? All right. And so with key performance indicators, you're really measuring the effectiveness and quality of the success of your organization and what you're doing in your performance, right? And so with that, if you are not tracking, you are lacking. Why? Because you are doing activities that you don't know necessarily if they're equating to a result, right? And so if you ever connect with a marketer who's a digital marketer, consultant, anyone who says they do any type of digital marketing and they say they don't do measurements, run. They don't do measures, run. They don't do track and run. And so you definitely want to have just some basic things in place. So you want to see if your campaigns are really being as effective as you think they are versus what you may be feeling at the time, right? So just some quick examples of what you can actually do to start to putting some measures in place. So something simple that you can add quickly, definitely today, is having Google Analytics. And that's going to give you measures. You can measure so much in there, but just real quickly, you can measure like who's visiting your site, the bounce rate, like how quickly are people coming to your site and getting off of there. You can also put tracking for conversions with that as well, but we're just going to keep it simple for this example. So Google Analytics to actually you're going to need that for tracking the data there. Also some good tracking if you're doing any type of paid advertisements with or considering doing paid advertising with Facebook or Instagram. Even if you're not doing it now, highly encourage you to put the Facebook pixel on there. And that's just a tracking cookie that allows Facebook to see who's coming to your website and you having those visitors there, so it can gather data on people who are visiting your site. Right. So you want to have that in place too. If you're doing tracking, if you're doing any type of outreach on LinkedIn as well, you definitely want to have a LinkedIn Insights tag on your site. That's going to allow you to do tracking for people from coming from the LinkedIn platform to your actual website. So you want to have that in place. If you're doing any type of advertising on TikTok or plan on it, or even if you don't plan on it, still encourage you to put the TikTok pixel on your website as well too, so that people coming from the TikTok platform, you can track people coming from the TikTok platform. Now on these, we can definitely get into some more advanced ways of tracking. We can go to that on another episode, on an upcoming episode, but you definitely want to have some basics in place, because on an upcoming episode, we'll talk about the retargeting and the events that you can set up, conversion events that you can set up to see if people are actually opting into their pages. So not just they're coming to your site, but are they opting in? And what percentage of people are actually opting in? What percentage of people are actually coming to the webinar that have registered? What percentage of people are actually watching your explainer, your authority video? What percentage of people are that come from the explainer video, the webinar, are actually booking a time to speak with you or actually buying a product from attendance on there? So These things are good to set up in place and to track daily so you can see the effectiveness of any of your marketing strategies that go into marketing tactics with use for these platforms. All right. So that concludes this episode of the key performance indicators. Is your tracking? Are you tracking or are you lacking? All right. So go ahead and follow and subscribe for more.